Hey guys, welcome back. It's been quite a long time. I've had a lot of stuff going on in life. That's not a real good excuse, but I'm back. I'm healthier. I just got back from the gym, so I'm even healthier now. Um, so today, let me minimize this. Today, I got a print in, and I thought I'd do a video about it. So how this happened was someone from XYZ Printing got a hold of me from their marketing team. They saw some of my work and they wanted to give me a test print of one of my pieces, so I could pick whichever piece I wanted. But they wanted to test out their new printer that they have. That's a extruder printer that does color, and I was very intrigued by that. So I was like, sure, why not? Let's have a go at it. So this is the print. Now you guys probably can't, let me see, we'll get my video back up. Probably can't see it too well, but I have some pictures that they were so kind to take for me. So I'll show you guys that real quick. Minimize my face. There we go. Okay, so this is my 3D file that I did, the render of it. Pretty chill with it, digging where it's going. And then that's it. And then this is the actual print of it. So it's not too bad. It's pretty small. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the printer, about what they have on their website, and then I'll tell you the things I like about it and don't like about it. It's not necessarily a full critique of the printer itself, but because I don't have the printer to experiment with and tool around and mess up and then do really good with. So that to that. So some of the things, we'll start with the things I don't like about it, and then we'll end on the things I do like about it, and then I'll talk about what they have to say for the printer itself. So the things I don't like about it is it's what they call an FFF printer. If you guys don't know what that is, from what I've been able to read, it's very similar to an FDM. The biggest difference I can tell is licensing dispute, so just trying to make it their own kind of thing. But I guess majority of people and professionals use it as triple F, but I usually hear FDM. So if you guys know better than me, go ahead and leave it down below. When I used to work at a 3D print house in Arizona, we had a lot of these that we would use. So FDMs inherently aren't bad, but my issue is with them because currently I work with SLA printers, which is laser based, so they get really high resolution out of those. That's up 25 microns. This printer does up to 100 microns, so the level of detail is less. I do wonder though, because put my video back on, see my face. I do wonder though if, because this is so small, their print volume is actually probably, I think, let me see. I think the print volume for this is about, I would say, at least 4 or 5 times bigger than this. Because this is about 50 millimeters tall, and since the print volume is 13 centimeters cubed, so it's a lot bigger than this. So I wonder if you printed this at a larger size, if it wouldn't be as bad, in the stair stepping that you see from the different layers wouldn't be as bad, just because it'd be larger. I also wonder, because of the layer lines on it, you can use with FDM printers, you can use acetone to melt it down. But I wonder, because I don't know how exactly their coloring technique works, if your colors would like run and drip down. It says that they use like printer cartridges, I think. Yeah, CMYK. So they're definitely using some kind of printer cartridge type of delivery system onto it, and they're probably doing it while it's hot, so the pigment absorbs in. So I wonder if you melted this, I'm sure the pigment would melt as well. And you might get some droopiness, and you might not get 100% accuracy with it. That'd be my one concern. But again, I think a lot of that can be alleviated with printing out a larger size. It's just getting tight details on something this small. You're really not going to get that out of a FDM or triple F printer because it is so tiny. This is like miniature scale, so this is like it'd be like a monster in a miniature. So it's not gonna give you those high details, but it's super cool that it has pigment inside of it and color on it. For me personally, when I was working at the print house, the only way we had color prints was using like a sandstone printer, and then you do a layer of dust, and then you go over with glue and pigment over it, and then another layer, glue and pigment, and so on and so forth, until you had a full 3D model. And then you take it out and sieve it, and all the dust fall away, blow it off, and then there you go. So it's really cool that this is becoming more accessible as far as technology goes to people. This is a desktop printer, so there's that to think of. So yeah. And my last big gripe for it is the colors. They're not as saturated as my actual 3D model. So I'll go back and show you again. So that's the print. Oh, too far. That's the print, and looks okay, but the saturation is just completely off. So, and to be fair, I don't know if that's the way I sent them the files, if there was something that was messed up in that made it more difficult. Because all I did for this, because I didn't have this as a real time, or wasn't even properly topologized, honestly. Just smashed together, and then I just GUV'd it out of ZBrush. And those UVs are not... Yeah, those UVs aren't great when they come out, just because it's auto-generated and it's getting all your color down, and you'll be able to get a print out of it technically. But I wonder if that had any issues. Where things are placed, it is accurate. Like if they have these like little spots here, those are there. I can see them on the print. This little splotch, this light purple here though, that is kind of getting lost. I can't see that on the print. But again, with making it a higher resolution, I wonder if that's something that would be taken care of. So another thing I have an issue with, and this is just with the technology of the type of printers it is, it's not even this printer, is these little scraggly bits coming off. Now you can, I don't even know if you guys can see anything. Yeah, maybe. Is there a little bit? Need a dark background? Oh. A little scraggly bit coming off the bottom. There's a lot of that, and that's just because of the plastic. When the nozzle pulls away from it, you'll sometimes have these half-melted little spider webs that come off of it, and that's just part of the nature of that technology. Again, you can go through, clean it up, tool it. This hasn't had any tooling done to it. This is straight out of the box like this. I know there were supports on it that they clipped out for me, so thank you for that. And I don't know how the supports were either on this. So it could be pretty easy to take off and take the supports off. They tend to be pretty okay if you lay it up in a half logical manner with these. So things I did like about it, it feels solid. I feel like they did a lot of, and it might just be the way they ran the print settings on it, but it feels solid. It might be a lot of infill, so it doesn't feel like it's going to break easily. Maybe the little squiggly bits right here, but everything else feels really solid. I'm impressed with the technology as a whole. I think it's really cool. When I started getting into 3D printing, it was like sandstone, and then there was some DLP stuff out there, but it was a lot of make your own because it was not accessible to people. This printer runs $1,600, I think, which is still a little pricey, but maintaining it with like the ABS or PLA that runs to actually do the extruder is super cheap, so upkeep is not a lot. I don't know, I'm sure you can change out the nozzle on the heating plate. I'm sure you can change out or the build plate, I'm sure you can change that out as well and customize it a bit. So I just think it's cool that this is becoming more readily available for general people, like just desktop printers. I think it's awesome. Again, I'd like to see what this would look like at a bigger scale, if we would get more detail out of it, just to see. And I'm also curious about the acetone. Those are the big things I'm really wondering about with this guy. So we're gonna kind of go through this, and I'll leave a link on the description below as well. So I just gotta find my button. Okay. Close all that. Okay. So we have the Vinci Color Mini. So it says it uses CMYKs to deliver color. They have some nice examples here. This looks super saturated, so this makes me also wonder if like maybe their colors were getting low or something, or again maybe they were just the settings. Maybe there's a setting in there to have it saturate more than others. And that's the other thing I'm curious about is like, does it just apply color to the outside layer? If you do an infill, does it push it back through the infill based on the normals? And I wonder if that was the case, like if the color would just bleed back to the center, if it would be a little bit more saturated. Now you can see it moving right there, doing its thing. Yeah, these colors look really good and vibrant. Yeah, I dig it. So auto calibration, whatever that means, but that's I mean, it's less work for you. That's even better. Oh, it's got a little upgrade to do laser engraving on it. That's awesome. I'm seeing a lot of FDMs going towards this, and it's really interesting. Da Vinci's interfaces, I've seen a couple of them, and their interfaces are pretty easy to understand. So it shouldn't be too bad. And their software is pretty self-explanatory for the most part. Yeah, 18 inches, 20 inches roughly cubed. It's not too bad of a footprint to have for a desktop. I can see this being great for a, they say it right here, your classroom. Great for a class, for students to learn, to build dioramas, to have physical examples of like human body parts or something like that. I can see it being really good like that. I can also see this being super good if you are dabbling in 3D modeling and coloring and just getting into the industry a little bit of that. Doing full colored terrain pieces with this and just doing a little post work on it. Because that could be a little side hustle for somebody. And even just as a hobbyist, that'd be pretty cool. Because instead of having to... Like, I'm a better digital painter than I am a model painter, like actual models. So for someone like me, this would be a lot easier to just do my coloring in digital format and then just have it printed out. So, and there you go. $1,600. So it's not too bad. From what I've heard, the Da Vinci's are actually pretty good machines. But again, for me, it's that lack of resolution. I work at a miniatures company. I do miniatures. That's kind of like where my passion's been going. So I have been gravitating towards higher detail as opposed to color input. But I think it's awesome. I think it's just really interesting where you could take this. If I were to have one of these, I think it'd be fantastic, because anytime I wanted to make a gift for somebody, it'd be like, okay, let me model it up in like 4 hours, color it, and then just print it up. And then here's happy birthday, Mom. You know, that's great. So I think it's got a lot of applications that would be really fun. I think it'd be great for learning, again, for gifts, and terrain setting. Again, I kind of wish this was like as big as they can make it, just so I could really identify the best of it. You know, I feel like I'm evaluating like not the worst of it, but like it's not at peak performance. I feel like looking at this, it could do better than this is showing. But I'm still super impressed with where this is going. So I am excited to see where this technology goes and watch this space. I don't know, whatever. That's what people say, right? All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope to be a little bit more committed with coming out with videos more often. And y'all have a good day. Bye.